Hi, this is Ashley back with another reading. This reading is going to be on how Wendy Williams, Charlemagne the God, Akademiks, and who else? I believe Joe Budden I was going to do too. Wendy Williams, Charlemagne the God, Akademiks, and Joe Budden feel about Nicki Minaj. Because they recently have been showing her a lot of love lately. So I just want to see if it's genuine or if they had gotten the phone call to, be nice to Nicki, basically. So before we get into the reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. This reading is strictly for entertainment purposes only, okay? So we're going to start off with Wendy Williams. How does Wendy Williams feel about Nicki Minaj? Wendy Williams. How does she feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords. This talks about somebody who kind of feels like the victim. So she feels like Nicki kind of pretends like she's the victim in certain situations, okay? So the Eight of Swords speaks about that kind of victim blaming. Oh, it's always someone else. So that's how Wendy Williams feels about Nicki Minaj, okay? We also have the Four of Swords here, okay? And the Four of Swords kind of speaks about having stress, a lot of stress, not being completely happy. And so Wendy Williams does feel like Nicki Minaj isn't completely happy. Now, I don't know if she knows information behind the scenes, but it looks like she feels like Nicki Minaj is not completely happy. We also have the Queen of Swords. This talks about putting up a good fight, okay? Being strong, being bold, being independent. And that's how, Wendy views Nicki Minaj. Somebody that is bold, independent, a hard worker. So it does look like she does believe that she is an icon. I don't know why a few months ago she said she wasn't, but it does seem like she does believe that she is an icon, okay? And then we have the Hera font card, okay? This talks about, challenging the status quo, not going against the grain, not doing what everyone else is doing. This probably has to do a lot with Nicki Minaj's music. Everybody's making those upbeat songs that you kind of have to dance to, and Nicki's kind of going a different route with at least the 3 songs that she did drop, okay? But it looks like she does view her as an icon, but she just feels like she's not completely happy and that she does play the victim. Okay? So Wendy Williams does think that Nicki Minaj is an icon, thinks that she's successful, okay, and that she goes against the grain, not doing what everyone else is doing. Okay? So let's see how Nicki Minaj feels about Wendy Williams. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Wendy Williams? Nicki Minaj. How does she feel about Wendy Williams? Okay. So the Ace of Wands is here. This talks about extending the olive branch. So it looks like Wendy will invite Nicki Minaj to come on her show. Okay, now that they have made peace publicly, it looks like Wendy Williams might ask Nicki Minaj to come on her show. Okay, because talks about extending the olive branch, extending an opportunity. Okay, we also have the Nine of Swords. She feels like Wendy is not completely happy either, okay? That, she could have some insecurities with herself. And that's why she goes and, talks bad about other people, okay, on national television. I think that Wendy, sometimes she could take it too far. I think she took it too far when she talked about the brother and Kenneth. So Nicki does feel like Wendy might have some insecurities, okay? And then we have the Strength card. She does feel like Wendy is strong, very bold, strong-minded, independent. So they do really view each other as icons, but they do feel like they both have some sort of insecurities, okay? We also have the Ten of Swords the Ten of Swords here. This talks about betrayal. This talks about someone stabbing you in your back. So Nicki doesn't completely trust Wendy Williams. She doesn't completely trust her. Thinks that there is a motive. There is a motive. Wendy will probably invite Nicki to her show. And it looks like, Nicki might be a little skeptical going on, okay? But it does look like that an olive branch will be extended, okay? Let's see. Let's move on to Charlemagne. The next messiest one is Charlemagne. So let's see. How does Charlemagne feel about Nicki Minaj? Charlemagne the God. How does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Charlemagne's very, very sneaky, okay? We have the Seven of Swords. This talks about somebody doing something they're not supposed to be doing, okay? So he does have a reason for showing Nicki Minaj love. He knows some things. This talks about secrets. He might know some things about Nicki Minaj, okay? It doesn't look like he's going to reveal them anytime soon, but it's like he's keeping stuff in his back pocket. He's very sneaky. He does things underhandedly. And he tries to hide his hand, but he always gets caught, okay? Everything always comes back to him, okay? We have the Sun card. This talks about being hopeful for the future. So this could be in regards to her coming back on the Breakfast Club. She hasn't been there since when? 2011, 2012? Oh, wait, no. She did a phone call in 2015, I believe. 2015, she did a phone call interview. So the Sun card talks about being hopeful for the future, but he is very sneaky. He knows some things about Nicki, some secrets, and he's kind of keeping it in his back pocket, okay? We also have the Page of Swords. It talks about putting up a good fight. That's how he feels about Nicki Minaj. Somebody that doesn't go down easily, puts up a good fight, very strong, okay? And then we have the Six of Wands. He thinks that she has a big ego. The Six of Wands in reverse talks about somebody that has an ego. So he does feel like she has a big ego, okay? But he has a reason for being nice to her. It looks like he's going to ask for an interview also. Child, Nicki gonna have to be giving all these people interviews if she wants them to keep being nice to her, to be quite honest, okay? Let's see. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Charlemagne the God? How does Nicki Minaj feel about Charlemagne the God? Nicki Minaj, how does she feel about Charlemagne the God? Yeah, she feels like he's gonna ask her to be on the show, to go on the show. Ace of Cups. This talks about extending an olive branch. This also kind of talks about opportunities being presented, okay? This talks about prosperous opportunities being presented, okay? So she knows that he's gonna ask her. She already preparing for people asking her, oh, can you come on my show? Oh, we made amends, da-da-da. So she's already preparing for that. The Seven of Pentacles, this talks about long-term success. So she feels like, Charlemagne is successful, but this also talks about a turnaround in their relationship. She feels like they're in a better place right now, okay? So this talks about long-term success, okay? The Three of Wands, she's still watching him, still trying to be careful, seeing his motives, okay? He does know something. He knows some information. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I even got it with Wendy. People are talking about something in regards to Nicki Minaj, personally. I don't know what it's in regards to, but a lot of people are talking. They know some things, and they're just waiting to reveal it, okay? So Nicki got to be careful. But she does view him as successful, knows that he's going to ask her to come back to the Breakfast Club. Let's move on to Akademiks. Who's more messier, Akademiks or Joe Budden? Because I'm trying to go from messiest to least messiest. Okay, I'm going to go with Joe Budden. I think he's a little less messy. Let's go. Joe Budden. How does Joe Budden feel about Nicki Minaj? Joe Budden. How does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay, the Ten of Pentacles, this talks about success. He thinks she's very successful, okay? Knows what she's doing. This talks about wealth. This talks about when people view you as rich. So he views her as somebody that's very wealthy, very successful, okay? We also have the Judgment card. He does judge her though. He does judge the way she acts. He does judge her music. If it doesn't sound like the way he wants it to sound, he does judge it, okay? We also have the Empress card. This talks about somebody that's independent. So he does feel like, Nicki Minaj could put out better music. The Judgment card is here. So he does feel that way. He's not going to always voice it right now because they're in a better place. But behind the scenes, he does feel like, she needs to put out something better. Okay, the Hangman, this talks about stagnation. This talks about stalemate, not being able to move forward. So that's kind of how he feels. Like she's not able to kind of move forward. Something is keeping her stagnant, okay? And then the Seven of Wands, this talks about feeling overwhelmed. So he does feel like Nicki Minaj might be overwhelmed by coming back this time around because stuff has changed. People are more focused on TikTok records than actual bars, okay? So he does feel like she is successful though. I don't really get in these cards though. I don't really get that he's trying to get her to come back on the Joe Budden podcast. It seems like he genuinely does respect Nicki. Okay, he doesn't really want anything from her right now. It might be because he has a lot going on. His podcast is kind of in shambles with the whole Rory and Maul situation. So it could be that reason. Maybe he's trying to get his ducks in a row. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Joe Budden? How does Nicki Minaj feel about Joe Budden? She feels like he's lonely. Okay? The Five of Wands, this talks about loneliness. So she feels like he is lonely, that he needs companionship. We also have the Devil card. This talks about attachment issues. She might feel like he has attachment issues. This also talks about sexual attachment. So she might know something behind the scenes. It seems as though she feels like he has some sort of attachment issue, okay? And then we have the Four of Wands. She does view him as successful, though. The Four of Wands, this talks about success, okay? And then we have the Three of Pentacles. It talks about gossip. So she does feel like he talks too much, though. Like when, she texts him, sometimes he may reveal that she texted him. Like she doesn't like that. She feels like he kind of talks too much. Like, don't tell people that I just talked to you, because he has revealed that before on the Joe Budden podcast. Like, oh, I just spoke to Nicki. Oh, Nicki said she coming back soon. Like, Nicki doesn't like that. Okay, so let's go to Akademiks. How does Akademiks feel about Nicki Minaj? Akademiks. How does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay. Yes, he doesn't really think too positive of Nicki. I don't know what he has said recently, but the Magician card is here. This talks about somebody that's manipulative. So he does feel like Nicki Minaj is manipulative, okay? We also have the Three of Swords. This talks about working alone. This also talks about heartbreak. So he feels like she doesn't have a good enough team to really get her to the top. That's how he feels. And also this talks about heartbreak. So there's something that she did that really hurt his feelings. I don't know if it's because she called him a chipmunk, but something that she did really hurt his feelings, okay? And then the King of Swords is here, and this talks about a misuse of power. So he feels like she misuses her power, okay? This could be in result to the whole Kenneth situation when she said, oh, my husband wants to speak to you, and then he showed DMs and everything. It could be something resorted to that. And then the Moon card, this talks about anxiety. So, Nicki does give him some sort of anxiety or pressure or confusion. He does feel like Nicki Minaj is some way, shape, or form intimidated, okay? So by the rap game, he feels like she is intimidated, but she also intimidates him, okay? There's something that he did, that she did, that hurt his feelings, okay? So that's how he feels about her. He's still a little salty. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Akademiks? Nicki Minaj, how does she feel about Akademiks? So we have the Hermit card. This talks about secrets. This talks about hiding. So she feels like he hides a lot. Now, I don't know if he goes to public events, but she feels like he hides a lot. And then the Seven of Pentacles, this talks about short-term rewards. So she doesn't feel like he's going to last too long in the game for whatever reason. I mean, he's been in the game for a while now, like, what, 5 years? So she doesn't feel like he's going to last long. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. This talks about when you're someone that's nurturing. So she feels like she has to treat him like a child. Like she has to come to him like she's the mom and he's the child. So that's why she probably intimidates him, because she comes to him with a strong personality. Like, don't do that, okay? So it seems as though they're really not that cool, though. They don't really view each other in a positive light. Anyway, if you guys like this reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. This reading is strictly for entertainment purposes only, and I hope you have a great day.